Well, first of all, I just have to commend you. You're so eloquent and you seem so in touch with yourself. And I'm like, I struggle with that. I think we all struggle with that. And just hearing you speak on what you do to kind of bring you back to yourself is just, it's inspiring. And I think that's routine is everything. I'm a Virgo. I have OCD. So
Okay.
I'm hearing you and I'm like, I feel like you're my therapist right now, like
Yeah.
you're like giving me reminders and I'm like, God damn it. I'm learning, but I love it's all about growth. And what a beautiful theme for today's podcast episode because Clarisse, oh my gosh. I just have to say congratulations. What an incredible season, especially for Clarisse. You just blew me away. Your performance is
Thank
just
you.
phenomenal.
Thank
And
you.
we're going to get to it, but we're going to start with the question that I always start with.
Okay.
Um, Now, I know you've been acting and performing since you were little, but do you remember that first time that it all connected for you, that you understood the power and the magic of storytelling, that it can
Mhm.
connect, that it can create empathy, that it's more than just a job or, a fun thing to do?
Like I always like to say, there was never a light bulb moment for me. It was more so just like I finally had the thoughts and the words to convey what I had been feeling before I could even think or speak. I'm so serious about that. Like I just like there was no moment where I was like, yes, this is what I want to do. It was more so like my thoughts and my vocabulary caught up with what I was feeling from when I was like an infant child. And then I think the moment that I was like, oh my God, like I need to do this. I want to do this. When I was young, we still had DVDs. So when I was little, I had three like DVDs that I just wore out completely. It was High School Musical 2. It was The Princess and the Frog. And the two that were the most important, arguably, was Beyonce Live and Michael Jackson, This Is It. And I remember specifically watching all those three, Beyonce, Princess and the Frog, and High School Musical, and being like, yes, like absolutely. But watching the This Is It film, I was like, I have to. Like this is it. Like this is what I want to do. So that I guess you could say that was like the light bulb moment, but I really do like it was never a situation of, oh, I know now. It was like, okay, now I know what I can say to people what I've been thinking. Yeah.
Oh, I love that so much. It's like, because when we're little, we don't really have the tools to fully
Mhm.
express what we're feeling inside,
Yeah.
which I think again why storytelling is so important for young people because what we watch, feeling seen, it gives us a vocabulary, um, something to connect with. But you felt it in your bones from day one.
Oh
But
yeah.
then when you got to the point where you had those tools, you could say, okay, like let's do this thing.
Here we go. Yes, Father, I have
Yes.
words and I need to tell you something.
Oh my gosh, I like I have the words. Oh my gosh. Well, speaking of having the words, like I said, Clarice has such a compelling and just incredible arc this season. I was thrilled. They only gave me the first four episodes.
Girl, you got half the season.
Oh, like they literally left me dangling like at the edge of my seat. You know how episode four ends. I was like, what?
It is
Oh,
a like minefield, I swear. Like this season is crazy. Like
well, it
so
started off
good.
so strong. It was
Yeah.
like with a bang. Um, but okay, so what we can talk about is
Mhm.
that Clarice has been chosen for the Golden Fleece Quest. Big deal, big deal.
Huge.
Um, which pushes her in unexpected ways, opens the door for so much personal growth. Returning to her this season, I know you're in season three in your mind. When you return to her, we got to compartmentalize.
I
When you
know.
return to her for season two, at a moment when she's stretched beyond her comfort zone,
Yeah.
what felt essential for you to bring to her in terms of the new layers and the vulnerability?
Honesty, truth, like that's what it was. I think the blessing that I had, well, blessings that I had playing her this season is one, I had the life experience to actually bring real emotions that I have felt in my lifetime to her emoting. And then I was so lucky and so blessed enough to have our acting coach on set, Andrew McElroy, there to kind of like create this safe space and like protect like these like bloody guts that I had like of hers to just be out and about all the time. And him and I came up with all these. I mean, hours. Like he'd come over to my house. It's amazing. He'd come over to my house. My mom would make him Persian food, and we'd sit and we'd talk for hours and hours about what like I create like you know how like everybody's into this thing called making a mind movie for yourself so that you can understand and feel the emotions of like what it is that you want to bring into your life.
No, I don't know that. My
It's
mind
amazing.
movie? I'll look it up.
It's
Okay, I'll look
amazing.
it up. Okay.
But it was like basically creating all of these mind movies and just like sitting there and like meditating on like the memories of her childhood. So like sitting there and like closing your eyes and like seeing things like from like as if I have like little baby Clarice hands and like what am I looking at and what am I doing and what am I feeling and experiencing and bringing all of that into my own nervous system so that I can fuse with her. And what we would do on set is like everybody has their own process. Everybody's different. I remember what I would do with Andrew. There was this one scene, breaks my heart. But one scene where I get stopped by Aries before I go on my quest. And I remember like we were walking up to like the set. Oh my God, it was disgusting. I want to throw up right now. But I was walking up there and Andrew was asking me all these questions about my childhood. And then he flipped and started talking in Aries' voice. And like, mind you, I'm like punching his hands like while like I'm going up there. And like, he's just asking me these like gut wrenching questions about, like, are you going to make me proud? Are you going to let me down like how you did last time? Blah, 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 blah. And just like really getting me there. So doing things like that, but it was really, really important for me. But the main thing that was kind of like the North Star of what I was going for in terms of bringing her to life was making everything that I felt so real that it was scary. That was the big thing.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, first off, I have so many thoughts. Thought one is that I just got so excited to watch your career just continue to blossom and to see what roles you're going to continue to tackle because the way that you approach your work with such care and consideration and respect really just excites me and makes me feel so grateful for young actors like yourself to see what the future holds. I just want to like say first and foremost. Um
My heart
and
is fluttering. Thank you.
it's so true. And you're right. It's that honesty. And like it's hard. I'm sure that it was heartbreaking and healing at the same time going through this process with Clarice this season. As she sort of it's like she's battling her head with her heart constantly.
All the time. And she doesn't
Oh,
even realize that that's what's happening. Like it's just this tug. You have no idea what's going on. I think that I'm so sorry. I keep
no,
interrupting you.
no, you did not. No, this is a conversation. We're just going back and forth, please.
But really, like I think another cool thing that was like I just was thank God like I was experiencing while I was shooting it is what she was learning and going through this season. I was too as Dior having to learn and go through and experience at the exact same time. So it was just like I always say like it was a very therapeutic process playing her because not only like in terms of the pressure and like intensity of how she was raised do we relate to each other but also too in what she had to learn for herself and about the world like as a human being is the exact same thing that I was having to deal with and learn and go through while I was shooting the season in my own personal life. So it was just crazy. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. I mean, that authenticity just comes through so powerfully on screen. And that completely makes sense to me. And I think too, it's like, I mean, it sounds a little bit like you're learning and she's learning strength and vulnerability,
Yes.
which as women in this world, it's
uh,
hard.
Talk about it. Oh my gosh,
You know what
yes,
I
it's
mean?
insane. Yeah.
And I think Clarice, that's why. Um, I feel like every person can relate to that sort of need to want to live up to these expectations that are just unrealistic and there for no reason, and trying to break free from those expectations and really find, what does strength mean to her?
Yes.
What does she want to leave behind? What does she want to do moving forward? And that sort of dichotomy is so relatable.
Exactly. And like, what does it mean to lead as yourself? And like, in relation to real life, like, what does it mean to lead as a woman? Like, that's a really big thing. Like, you don't, like, your body and the way that you think and work is so different than that of like your male counterpart. And once you utilize how to make things work for you and within a space that makes you feel comfortable and like connected to your body, the way that you can get things done and the speed and agility like that you can do things is just insane. Like
Mm-hmm.
when I stopped trying to, force myself to work in a very like traditionally masculine sense, like go, 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 burn out,
Mm-hmm.
everything changed. And like when I started trusting my instincts, like it's important to think logically and critically, but not everything is like that. And that's when things really, really started to shift for me in my life, when I started to like, trust myself and also to trust in the fact that I am educated. Like that's another thing as well. I feel like as women, you're kind of, you could have the like most grand education and then you second guess yourself just because of like the way that the world is.
Mm-hmm.
And when you stop doing that, suddenly things start working out.
A
It's
hundred
crazy.
percent, a
Yeah.
100%.
Hmm.
And yeah, we see that with Clarice. I mean, I'm thinking of that amazing speech that she gives to her male crew,
Uh-huh.
um, which you can see that little light switch on for her, where
Hmm.
she has to say, F it.
Hmm.
What I'm
Let's get
supposed to
real.
say. What am I really, what's my gut telling me to say in this moment? And we see how powerful that is and how good it feels. I think that's too. It's like seeing the just like the joy that comes from, you know, succeeding when you're listening to yourself. And then of course, when you listen to yourself and it doesn't work out, having that community to fall back on, which is also something she goes through. I mean, how do you think, with all of this kind of personal growth and battling these demons, like how did you approach her relationship with Percy this season? Because
Mhm.
there's some beautiful, vulnerable moments there that were really
Yeah.
lovely to watch.
Very, very unexpected. Expected, but unexpected, their relationship. I think I think what it was for her is it was that moment when it was like, okay, the world's ending. We're gonna die. And I've never been honest with anybody in my life, not even myself. So if we're gonna die on this ship together for glory and for our parents that couldn't care less, let me at least be honest with somebody once in my life. And I think that opened up a door for a very like it's like when you have an experience with someone and you couldn't stop it from happening, but it happened. And then you guys see each other like out and about in the world, and you guys both have this secret knowing of each other, but you don't talk about it. Like it's very like it's that look from across the room. Like that's what I get with Percy. And it's like this very, very intimate and sacred and protected trust because it was just him and I in that moment. And he's the only one that knows me. And later in the season, we come to find that him and Grover now have this thing with me, both. It's somewhat similar to an empathy link, but not.
Mhm.
And they're the only people that really understand and know the real me at this point in time when the season finishes. So I think approaching the relationship between Percy and I, it's like you are an obstacle. However, I am aware of the fact that you are useful. That's how it starts in the beginning. And then it grows into now I trust you. Now you've seen all of my blood in my guts. Like now you know. And then it shifts into because you now know me, I am now comfortable and okay with protecting you because you were there for me in a moment when nobody else was. It's like literally, it's like not even, it's legitimately like going to war with somebody. Like those people, like they'll come back from like a world war and like they'll be so bonded
Blank.
together and they might have zero common ground, but because they went through something that was so like kind of what's the word
Dramatic.
for traumatic and like primal with each other, like
Mhm.
the you could be on completely have completely different ways of thinking, but because of what you went through, it's just that's what it is. So I think that's what it is with Percy and Clarice. They're like war heroed together.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
I was so happy that that's the direction that it went into because
Yeah.
I was sort of worried. I was like, oh, is she going to hold back? Because, it's scary. It's scary to open up the way that she does to him. And I was just so proud of her. I was like, hell yes. And it just opens the door to this energetic exchange and this kind of deep-seated bond that you're speaking about. That yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, so I want to talk about music for a little bit because you mentioned playlists. Because we could like get into the like nitty-gritty of the season, but we got to leave a little left unsaid for
A
for
little
the
bit,
fans, a
a
little
little
bit.
mystery, God. Yeah.
Because it's just so meaty, it's so layered.
Yeah.
And but you said you make playlists. Now I was just picturing like when you're in like the sea of monsters when you have to shoot these grueling scenes,
I
what are you
know.
listening to?
Okay, let me tell you. It's so funny.
Yeah.
So there was this song that was going really viral on TikTok for a second.
Okay.
And there was like a moment on TikTok where everyone was talking about their fear of the ocean and like shipwrecks and this and that. And you know that song? It's called Hoist the Colors by Bobby Bass. But it's
Okay.
like that like really like yo
Very
ho.
piratey.
Oh yeah, but it's like going
Yes. No, I know what you're talking about.
hoist the colors high. So
Hmm.
we had the most. I love Jason. I love Jason with my whole heart, oh, and my whole being. So Jason Ensler was the person that was directing my episodes, all of the episodes in like ironclad episodes.
Okay.
And Jason is such a like audiophile. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Hmm.
We would send each other playlists all the time. Da, 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 da. And what was lovely about him is he has this speaker that he brings around with him all day at the top of the day to the end of the day. So in between scenes, on lunch, whatever, he's always playing music to either get people in the vibe or get people to relax or like whatever. And so before we would shoot any of the ironclad stuff, I'd be like, Jason. He's like, yes, sure. Can you play that one song? Yes, Dior. But it was so I was listening to Hoist. I was making the entire set listen to Hoist the Colors by Bobby Bass before all of the ironclad
That
scenes.
like makes a lot of sense though. I can like see that. That's very funny. I love that. You're like I'm doing it because I need it. You're like this isn't necessarily like a bop, but like
Mhm.
it's what I need.
For real, like we're not gonna be turning up, but it's
No,
what's
no,
necessary.
no.
I
You're
mean,
like you need
same
to get
thing.
like I
And
don't
we need
know.
to get
That's
in it. Like we need
yeah,
to
like
get into it. For
you
real.
know.
It was the same thing last season too. Before that fight on the beach with Percy,
Mm,
this like we didn't have the whole speaker thing last season. However, I hid an AirPod in my ear
smart.
before the take, and then I threw it off into the into the rocks when they called record. But I was listening to I think it's called Nate Growing Up by Labyrinth from the Euphoria
Oh
soundtrack
yeah, 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 yeah.
before that beach scene where
Ooh.
I break the spear. Oh, that's such just like that's like a cinematic masterpiece in a song.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a
Oh, so good.
saga. It's like that you feel that yearning in the like I mean, oh, I love that. Okay.
So good.
I'm obsessed and I'm so glad I asked that question because now I'm gonna be like picturing I love that you were like and then I'm ready.
No, literally, exactly
Oh
that.
my gosh. I mean, you are such a multi-talented artist. You're a singer, you're an actor. How does your creative process differ when you're making music versus preparing for a role? And how do the worlds influence each other? Because it sounds like they're sort of interconnected for you.
It's a very, very like there's a lot of synergy that goes on with those two. And the more time I spend developing the process with the music and turning it into a science in the same way that I have with the acting, the more I find it's a lot of same but different when it comes
Mhm.
to the music. I think when it comes to like creating and writing, the best advice that I could give or what I do for myself, it's just like you don't rise to the occasion ever. You fall back on the training that you have. So going into the studio and like being confident in my voice because I've been vocalizing every day, and being confident in my penmanship or like my skills in writing because I've been writing consistently. And going into the studio just with this like woosah kind of thing because I've been prepared allows me to like be a channel for whatever like God has to give me to create that day. And I find it's the same with acting. Like it's the same thing. If you create those memories for yourself, the memories that your character has, and get yourself connected to your character's nervous system on the day, you don't even have to trip about whether or not you memorize the script because it's literally just in you. And then whatever happens, happens because you're channeling the energy of what you need and what's necessary because spirit is giving it to you because you've done all the foundational work. So it's like that. It's very same, but different. Different processes in terms of preparation, but same kind of like world, same WhatsApp group that they live in.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I bet you're so fantastic to work with because you come so prepared
Mhm.
and so ready because you've put in the work. And it sounds like to your point, it's the same process of putting
Mhm.
in the work and then creating that trust in yourself
Exactly.
because you're like, oh, I've got this.
Exactly.
Creating like a net for yourself where you're
Exactly.
like, she exists within me, the
Mhm.
songs exist within me, the
Exactly.
soul of it, the art of it, and now I
Like
just
it's all
gotta
there.
get
And
it
I
out. Now
to
I just
let it
get it
out.
out. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's like when you have created that trust within yourself and the relationship between you and whatever energy is around you and like spirit to get you there, it's easier for you to trust other people and let them in and like co-create with all of that because you're like, okay, I know even at my worst, I've prepped myself enough to where if it's bad, I'm the only person that's going to know that it's bad.
Mm.
Then you're allowed to play and pull in all of these different things because you're not tripping about yourself. It's like that idea of like no one's thinking about you because everybody's thinking about themselves. Once you are able to shed that like thing of like constantly being in your own head about yourself, it allows you to explore actually, and it's
Oh,
really amazing.
yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, let's do a little manifesting. I know you're currently in it right now. You're shooting,
Yeah.
but which is like mind blowing.
Love
But as you continue expanding your career, both musically, both as an actor, what are you manifesting for yourself? Like when you dream big for yourself, are you dreaming in genre? Are you dreaming in collaborations? Are you dreaming in directors? Are you dreaming in roles?
it.
Where's your heart sort of pulling you?
I think it's always important to be clear about what it is that you want. You have to write the vision and make it plain. Because if you don't understand what it is you're going for, you're going to be working hard in
Mm.
a circle, like in a hamster wheel, instead of like going linear towards the thing that you want. So I think it's important to get clear on the specifics, but also too, it's more about for me at least, or what I've learned through the oh my God, like thank God for the mentors that I've had in my life. It's more so about what impact do you want to leave, and then everything else will fall into place. So if for at one point and at various points in times you get clear about what it is that you want exactly, and then just grossly and globally you're thinking about what impact you want to have and what it is that you want to say and do, that's what brings everything else together, in my opinion. Because then I think it's easier to practice detachment that way. Because you have an idea in the back of your head of the specifics, but you know about the like energetic foundation of it all, and things start to fall where they need to, even if it feels like everything is falling apart.
No, it makes total sense. I think what you're speaking to also is that you want the art to matter.
Absolutely.
And
It's
in
not
order for the
about,
art to matter, it has to come from a place of, again, to tie this back to the beginning of the conversation, of honesty and
yes.
creating something that's honest, whether that's in whatever genre, in whatever whatever form that takes,
Mhm.
you want it to be honest and true because then you'll know that it'll be what it needs to be.
Exactly. And honestly, that's what people resonate with. People don't resonate with, I think, as an actress and as a musician, people aren't necessarily, they don't stick with you necessarily because of the work you do, but they stick with you because they trust you as a curator of art. So when it comes to that, I think it is important to kind of make it about what you're giving them and about the product. But if you're looking at things from a bit of a step back, it's less about the actual product. Like it's, I mean, it's less about what the product is going to give you and more so about the actual process of getting there. It's like I could say all day long, oh, my goal is to win a Grammy. But what the big thing underneath that is like, I want to make music that impacts the culture in such an influential way that I get recognized in that
Hmm. Hmm.
sense.
Yeah.
So that's what I had to do. I think that's the growth that's happened in the past like year or so is like shifting my mindset from one thing to the other, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you're so incredibly wise. I'm like really very blown away. This is all very profound, especially for someone who is so young. You're such an old soul.
Thank you.
I think it's just, I really admire you. I admire how you're processing this industry, which can be crazy. Um, and I think it's also what you're saying sounds a lot like your process to get into a role or to make music. It's sort of that same thing where you're saying, if my side of the street is clean, if
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing the work, then it'll come, it'll
Exactly.
connect. And it's the same thing with your career. It's the same thing with projects. It's like if you're, you know, working on yourself, if you're working on your craft and your art, then those things will yeah. And I mean, but that is such a lovely lesson to learn, especially at this point in your career. Like, what a gift. How'd you
I
get so
mean,
wise?
I've just had, my God, I have been so protected and blessed in my life to have the right people around me. And
Mm,
also, too, blessed to have gone through the crazy, crazy ass experiences that I've been through to learn.
yeah,
And again, like this is all much easier said than done. Like I have to remind
of
myself, like on a daily
course.
basis, to take the advice that I give. But it really, really has been. I've just been really like the world and the universe and God has been very gracious with me my whole life. So thank you for that.
You're
It's
very grateful, which I
yeah,
think is such a lovely and important attribute that um being just grateful,
yeah.
gratitude.
That's
Well,
what gets me there. Yeah, for
yes,
sure.
right? Well, I'm just so grateful that I got to speak with you today.
For
This was
having me.
so wonderful. You're truly like such a gem, and I'm so invested in your career now. I was just like I'm gonna be
Thank
watching
you.
out. And no, thank you so much for your time and for your thoughtfulness. I think it's very rare. So thank you for being so thoughtful with me today.
Of
It's
course.
like it's what makes me the happiest and what brings me joy is having just like kind of real thoughtful conversations because there's too much BS out there.
Talk about it. Oh my God. I cannot have another surface level conversation with someone. I swear I'll just leave. I swear
Yeah,
I will
me
just
too.
leave.
It's like
Right.
zero patience. I'm like, oh, like but congratulations again and on a really fantastic, um, heartbreaking, but just, powerful season for Clarice.
Thank you.
And I mean, good luck with filming. Break a leg. And we'll have to talk next season to see
Oh,
what's
for
on the
sure.
playlist.
Oh, for sure. We'll update you. I'll give you the whole playlist.
Yes,
It'll be great.
please.